Okay, it's Mr. Gates here, and I'm just driving in Bournemouth town centre. It's about 7:20 in the evening, hence it's quite dark. And I'm just looking for some petrol. Oh yeah, there's a place here. How much is it? 127.9. Quite expensive, but what are you gonna do? Need some petrol, so I'm gonna come in and fill up my tank now. Unleaded, 127.9. Off I go. I can't believe it costs 127.9 pence per litre for unleaded petrol. What has the world come to? I just don't know. See, even in this petrol station, it's costing 126.9 pence per litre for unleaded fuel. Diesel's a little bit more expensive, but that's everywhere. And to be honest, it just makes me sick. I remember a year ago when this petrol station was charging petrol about 100p, £1 per litre. A question that does come to mind is it the same in every country in the world? Hello. Okay, hello. What's your name, please?
My name is Antoine.
Where are you from?
France.
Fantastic. And do you drive in England?
No, I don't drive in UK.
But do you drive in France?
Yeah, I have my driving license since 2 years now.
Okay, and what's the petrol? How expensive is the petrol in France?
The petrol is quite, I would say, quite expensive in France. It's almost 1.12 euros. But after we have a lot of the government put a lot of tax in it, maybe 75 or 80% of the price in global. So yeah, and then it's really expensive.
Okay, how does that compare to England, do you think? Is it more expensive in France or more expensive in England?
I think on the end, it's with the conversion, I think it's quite cheaper on the end in France than in UK.
Okay, yeah. Thanks very much, Antoine.
You're welcome.
Okay, hello, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Fleming.
And where are you from, Fleming?
I'm from China.
From China, okay. And do you drive in the UK?
No, I just drive in my country.
Okay, so you drive in China?
Yes.
And what's the petrol, how expensive is the petrol in China?
I personally think it might be the £1 per litre.
£1 per litre? Yes. Oh, so that's be cheaper in China than in England, do you think?
I think it is, in China it's cheaper in England.
Oh, okay. But do you think that petrol is very expensive in the world?
China, I think in China it's still very expensive.
Oh, I'm so fed up. I just can't believe how expensive petrol is now. And not just that, it's the fuels that are released from burning petrol. I'm just on my favourite site, BBC Bitesize, and I can see that combustion of fuel releases water vapour, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide and sulphur dioxide, and that causes acid rain and global warming. And I just feel really down. I need something stronger than this, I think. Bit of apple juice gets me in a much better mood. But it just feels like there's no alternative. Is there an alternative? So I have actually been researching now for about 20 minutes, and I've realised there are actually alternatives to using petrol to power cars. But does anybody know these alternative fuels? I'm going to go over to St Edward's tomorrow. I'm going to ask a few people. Okay, this is Mr Gates, and I'm in St Edward's car park at the moment, realising how many cars there are, people that drive to work. And oh, you have Mr Kilpatrick here. Is that your car, Mr Kilpatrick?
Sorry, no, I'm just admiring Miss Sinnett's lovely pink Fiat.
Very nice.
Gorgeous.
Which is your car, sir?
Just here, Mr Gates.
Okay, let me have a look. Very nice.
Oh, that's my mug wed.
So, you drive to work? Is it a long distance?
I do, I drive. I live in Blandford, so it's about 15 miles travelling in, then 15 miles going home, so 30 miles a day I travel.
Okay. What do you think of the cost of petrol?
Cost of petrol has really increased an awful lot in the past, particularly the past couple of months. Yeah, it's about £1.35 a litre. So actually, to fill up my car, which isn't a big car, it cost me the other day £70 to fill it up.
Wow.
That'll last me for a week and a half.
Yeah.
2 weeks maximum.
Okay. And are you aware of the damage to the environment it causes, burning fuel?
I'm afraid I am, but like most car drivers, you kind of put that to the back of your mind because it's a necessity, particularly living out in Blandford where there's no good public transport. Then I've got to drive everywhere. I'd prefer there was public transport, but yeah, I'm aware of it, but I'm kind of handcuffed to using the car.
Okay. And if I said to you alternative fuels, the phrase alternative fuels, would you understand that?
Yes.
What do you understand by it?
I mean, in terms of a car, alternative fuel, I mean, I would say battery power, electric power for a car.
Okay.
Which hopefully is going to come about eventually. I mean, it's already available, but it's very, very expensive. I think the batteries are very expensive to actually manufacture, so we're all kind of stuck with petrol at the moment.
Okay, and I'm still in St Edward's car park, and I've seen a young teacher in this car here. I can see Miss Stewart. Hi, Miss.
Hello, Mr. Gates.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, no worries, Mr. Gates.
Thank you. I was wondering if I can ask you a few questions.
Certainly, come and have a seat,
Lovely.
Mr. Gates.
Thank you, very polite. Okay, well, Miss Stewart, I was wondering how much you use your car. Where'd you come from to drive into work?
Oh, well, I come from Boscombe, so it's quite a way. It's about 10 miles to get in, 10 miles to get home. So as long as I don't go anywhere in the evening, then it's 20 miles a day. I have to admit, I do use my car quite a lot.
Really?
I do like my car. I'm a little bit lazy. I don't like getting my legs out on a walk too often. So the car's being used quite a lot, yeah.
Fantastic. And what would you say about petrol prices these days?
Oh, the new government has certainly brought them up, haven't they? £1.30 a litre.
Absolutely.
So it's quite expensive. I went to Southampton the other day for a gig, and instead of it costing me £25, it cost me £40 to fill up my tank.
That's very expensive.
Steep.
That's right. And if I said the term alternative fuels to you, would you understand that?
Oh yes, I know I'm drama arty farty, but I do understand alternative fuels, and I think it is the way forward. I think we all definitely need to think about alternative fuels.
Okay.
I also think maybe we'd think about little tram lines on the roads, maybe. Kind of latch our car onto a tram line, don't press pedals, and just go along with the tram lines.
Okay. So if I was to say there'll be changes in the next 5 to 10 years, cars were being battery powered, alternative fuels, would you consider using such a new vehicle?
Yeah, definitely. I think it'd be exciting, right on that bandwagon. I also think it'd be exciting to do it Flintstone style as well, you know. Save the labour of putting a bottom of a car in, get your feet out, pedal your way.
Absolutely, I agree. That's brilliant. Well, thanks very much, Miss Stewart.
You're welcome, Mr. Gates.
Thank you for letting me into your car,
You're welcome.
into your life. Thank you. See you later. Bye-bye. Mr. Gates there in the Science Prep Room at St Edward's School. Having spoken to a couple of non-scientists about what they know about petrol consumption and alternative fuels, you need to have a bit of a scientific perspective about what we're dealing with here. So we've got diesel and petrol here. This is what's commonly used in cars at the moment to fuel the car, to keep the cars running. And as we know that these produce those toxic fumes, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, which links to global warming and acid rain. The alternative fuels, there are 3 main types. We've got biodiesel, part of your textbook, part of the curriculum. Biodiesel is a mixture of gases which are formed when bacteria break down plant material or animal wastes. So that's where biodiesel comes from. But the main problem there is that they're not producing enough biodiesel there to make it useful enough in cars. We've got ethanol here. This can be used as a fuel in cars as well, very popular in Brazil at the moment. And the last one is using hydrogen gas. Now, hydrogen gas provides the electricity by breaking up water by electrolysis, and that gives us the term battery-powered cars. So hydrogen is the main fuel involved in a battery-powered car. So these are the alternative fuels that could be used in cars within the next 5 to 10 years. And in the lesson today, you're going to be thinking about evaluating and discussing how useful these fuels could be. Well, are they the future? What do you think?